Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE $ Fresh at the Flyboy Way TheFlyBoy. Don't X Y chick of the channel, and we are back here again. I need like the round of applause noise for another Millennial Dating from the single man's perspective. On this show, we're going to discuss pay for play. Now, if you don't know what that is, maybe you can ask in the comments. I'll break it down. But basically, it is two different ways to get the attention of women. You can give time for their time. You can give them your time for their time, or you can give them money for their time. Now, we're going to go more on the money for their time aspect of the choices on this episode, as well as discuss an app that I just downloaded, and I'm going to take you guys with me and take you ladies, if you're here too, with me do this app called Down. Yes, the app is called Down, and basically it seems to be a casual dating app. Now, for those that don't know what casual dating means, it's dating that's basically not looking for anything long term, but looking for something fun. And I figured, why not try something new and download a new app? And we're going to get into that app right now. Let's go. All right. So let me share the screen with you guys. Now, I've already swiped a couple to see what it's like. And I'm kind of understanding the app. It's like you can swipe left and forget about it. You can swipe up if you want to date them. And you swipe down if you're down to well, you know what I mean, if you're down. So we're going to go through this app a little bit, and we're also going to discuss the whole pay for play situation, because I've been watching a couple other YouTube content creators, and it seems like there's been some kind of well, there's always been some kind of negative definitely CSP. Shout out to the 14 people we got in the room already. It seems like there's been some kind of negative connotation to the whole pay for play thing, and it's coming to a point where people feel as though that if you don't do pay for play, or if you only go with the girlfriend route, you're somehow better than everyone that either does it or doesn't, or does it sometimes, or does it all the times. But I'm here to tell people that there's really no difference. There's really no difference. It depends on what you value. Now, it's more likely an older person. It's more likely an older person who will pay for play. When I say older, I mean anybody over probably like 25. Because as you get older, you realize that, listen, my time is worth more than the money you're requiring. Now, we're going to specifically talk about internationally, because it is not legal in a lot of places in the United States yet, but we're going to talk about this internationally so we can talk about it freely without having to bite tongues or whatnot right there. Shout out to Cole in the room. What's up, man? O to the W. What up, man? You know what I mean? You know what? Maybe in like after we get over like the 20 or 30-minute mark, if I'll invite some people in, and I'll send a link in the chat room, maybe, because this maybe over like a 20-minute mark, so that you guys can join in, and if you want to talk, you can talk. But shout out to Deadlock Dan. What's up, man? But yeah, all right. So before we get deep into the topic, let's swipe through this new app that I'm telling everybody about called Down. Now, there are other apps that I've used in the past, and women think, I mean, not women, but people think that if you're somewhat attractive, which I feel as though I am attractive, if you have a nice body, which I feel as though I have a nice body, you won't be online dating, and looking for women. But it's a natural thing. It's the new wave of the future. It's been here for the longest, and whatever. So we're on this app called Down, and like I said, this app is basically a casual dating app. And so far, I'm looking at what I see, and surprisingly, it looks too good to be true. It really looks too good to be true, because a lot of these women on this Down site look very good. Now I don't know if this is fake pictures or whatnot, but a lot of women I've been seeing on this down site look really good. Um, she's in New York, and I don't know how many swipes I have. So so I'm gonna say you know what? She looks good. I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna say date. Okay. So I'm gonna say date, and I'm gonna go to the next one. All right, let's see some questions. Am I messing with the cryptocurrency? No, no, no. I don't really mess with things I don't understand, man. I mean, and right now I don't have the time to learn. Maybe in the future, when I, get the property I want internationally, then I'll find ways to understand it. Um, Dana, let's see Dana. You see what I'm saying? Certain of these apps. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is a couple thing. Um, certain of these apps. She's from Philadelphia, so I'm going to say no. Not because she's from Philly. She's from Philly. That's too far. We got Naomi from New York. Let me see. Ads. I don't. Oh, see, I got premium YouTube, so I don't really use the ad. What's going on, Angel Bell? What's going on? Wait, is that? Oh, what's up, man? I think that's a girl. I mean, guy. I don't know. Is that a girl? In the future, it will be too late. Yeah, it may be too late, but I like to invest in things I know, and if it's not too late in the future, then maybe I'll invest in for it then. Naomi. It's a lot of them from New York now that I'm noticing. But waist up pictures, I don't know about this. So we're gonna go past that one. That's a no, Naomi. Come on, how do I X out this? All right. Not now. All right. There's another app I used to use called Fling. Now here's it goes. Fling, I wanted to show you guys on here, but I couldn't show you Fling on YouTube because fling.com, and I can't really type it in the room. So you're gonna have to just go for it and see it yourself, or you're just gonna have to take my word for it. But it's a site called fling.com. Now here's the thing about Fling. You have to pay for it, right? But what me and my homies used to do is we used to get like a gift card, right? And you take the gift card and you put $5 on it, right? And it pays for the first month, and then it automatically keeps charging. But it would keep charging the gift card, and it wouldn't catch it for like 4 months before it realized that the gift card didn't have no more money on it. So you would get 4 months on Fling for free, and guess what? You would think it didn't work, but yo, I met a lot of women off of Fling, bro. Now, all intents and purposes, there are some attractive women that were on Fling. There are some attractive women that were on Fling, and I'm actually still cool with one of them. And we Instagram friends now, and she got a husband now, but we're still cool. And I can't knock it. Like, you would think that Fling.com would be like a site for like a lot of unattractive women, but you would be surprised how many women are I can say this, how many women are sex addicts, bro. It is so beyond crazy, man. And the crazy thing is that I live in New Jersey, so you would think maybe most of them were like down to seeming like most of them will be in New York, but your outer profiles, oh, that was too whack, man. That was too whack. I don't like that one. Skip the line. Oh, no, 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 no. $20 for a subscription. They bugging. Okay, so down might not be it, man, because I only had like 10 swipes, man. I didn't like down. I don't think I like down. I only had like 10 swipes of different things, man. I didn't like that. But let's go back to talking about Fling. Let's see who else came in the room. Road Tide, what up, man? Corey Green, what's going on? Chris Hill, what's up, man? C Spill. No, I'm saying the app is using people's profile ad. Oh, okay. I get you. Yeah, that was a quick browse through app, and I didn't really like it because, like I said, I only got like 5, and it didn't really look too real. Like this one right here was probably the realest one that I seen. Not the realest one, but like not the realest one I seen, but I don't know. It was weird. Now, but that was it. All right. So let me see. Fling is bogus. Tony Smith. Tony Smith, what up, man? Bruh, I don't know what Fling is like now. I went on the site prior to me coming on Fling, prior to me coming on here to do the show and talk about pay for play and stuff like that. I went on Fling and it still looked like it was up. And yes, I thought it was bogus too. But we actually, like I said, back when I was like back when I was like 23, 24, I actually paid for Fling with the little gift card. And for like 5 months, me and my boys went back and forth using the same account, just switching our pictures around. And bro, I'm telling you, I've met at least 3 or 4 women off of Fling in that time, bro. In that time I met. So I don't know if it's fake now. I don't know if it's not that real now, but bro, and it go down. It go down. It's not even a question if it's go down. It's just when does it go down? A lot of cam models on there. I think there is a lot of cam models on there. 80%, 80% spammers, 15% sugar babies, 5% transformers. This must be a new thing because of the fact that when I was on it, it wasn't like that. I seen some transformers, but I didn't see anybody wanting any money. And you know, one of them I smashed was real bad, bro. She was real bad. She was like, what was she? She was Guyanese and something. But yo, she was bad, bro. Tori Smith, O to the W. Let's see. Down is a horrible. Yes, Altec. Now I'm getting that down is and the crazy thing is that when I went to the Play Store, because that's how I be finding these apps that I'll be sharing with you guys. When I went to the Play Store, I typed in Fling, and Fling doesn't have an app because Fling is I guess, you know, or it didn't have an app on here. But Down Dating had like, I'm about to uninstall this thing right now. Uninstall right now, man. It looked like it had like 1 million people on it. It was crazy. Like it has over 1 million downloads. It has over 1 million downloads. So I didn't think it was fake. But after that little quick thing, man, that was whack. That was whack. Hella whack. But let's see. It's a bunch of this is how like I said, this is how I find all the dating apps and stuff. I'll put like Tinder on, and it'll show you anything that's similar to it. So for anybody that's like looking to just try out different dating apps, it'll show you all the different dating apps that's close to it, man. But all right, so let's see what's in here. I was on the site like 10 years ago. It was shit. Damn, Tony, you might have some bad luck, Tony. Oh, shit. And there's the answer, man. You in Australia. Oh, come on, man. You in Australia. That's probably the answer right there, man. But here you go. Related to your search. Now this shows all the dating apps if you guys can see over here. Does that say Uber horny? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Look at it. Look at this. What does it say? Casual personals. It only got 100,000. But wow. It got 4.8. I don't understand. It has a 4.8 rating. Well, while we're still talking about pay for play, we'll go in this for a little bit. I'll download this while we're talking about pay for play. All right, so now, Lori, what's going on, Lori? He said don't do dating apps no more. See, I'm not against it. I'm not against any of dating apps and stuff like that, man. It's something new. But like I said, it's been a big controversy about the whole pay for play thing, man. And I just feel as though the pay for play kind of takes the power away from what a woman can ask for. If you get what I'm saying. Like, think about this. Right now, I hear now. I'm just speculating. This is me not even doing no research. It's just what I'm hearing from word of mouth. I'm hearing that I think Kamala Harris is like doing something that's going to kind of make it possible for pros to be legal in certain parts of the United States more than what it is now. And I think that when you have pay for pay available, you're less likely as a man to take negative energy from women. If you guys understand what I'm saying, let me know. Let me know where you guys from. Let me know if you guys understand what I'm saying. When when a woman has all of the power because you can't play to pay, you're more likely to do more simp stuff to try to get that woman's attention. And like in the United States, and most parts, a lot of men will feel as though they lose their power to women once they're trying to interact with them, once they're trying to get them to know them better, once they're trying to court them. And they'll go out and they'll spend $200 for a date and then go home. They'll go out and they'll take the woman's kids out and all that stuff, and then they'll go home and the girl will go and call one of her exes or something like that. But if a guy had the option in the States, like imagine this, if you live in a major metropolitan city like New York, and you had the option legally to go and get a pro who may look like something you get in Colombia, or something you get in Cuba, or something you get in Brazil, wouldn't you be more inclined to take less from the women that you meet in the States? So I think that's something that is definitely okay. Investment aside, what's it, man? Simping is at an all-time high. I'm gonna get back to that. Let me shout everybody out. Black Cam, what's going on? You made one. I see the next one. Charlie Boy TV, what's good, man? He said my boys was with me in Colombia. We couldn't stop singing your theme song. What's going on, Charlie Boy? Man, I like what you and check you and Check and Effect did, man. Shout out to Charlie Boy TV. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Make sure you're subscribed to Check and Effect channel. They did some off the grid exploring in Colombia and Medellin, man. So y'all definitely want to go check out. I think that's on Check and Effect page, but you want to check out Charlie Boy page too, man. Let me see. Global Paper, you already know, man. Models and bottles. Simply P4P. Yep, that's what we talking about. But now let's go back to simping at its all-time high. Simping for generalization purposes, because it's different for everybody what they believe it is. But simping, yes, in the fashion of spending more money and doing more stuff for women to get their attention or to court them, or dating for those that don't know, is at an all-time high. Because right now, it feels like you can't go anywhere. Most people, because of the virus or the pandemic, they're not going anywhere. So now they're not going anywhere. If they do have a job and they do have money, their money is getting piled up, and now the women are in the States are requesting more. So and they have more of an option because the guys are not traveling. When you have people not traveling, you try to blend with the guys, with the ladies here. So I can understand why simping is an all-time high. I literally refuse to do anything with a female in the United States passport life. I'm not against doing stuff with a female in the United States. And there's a bunch of, let me open this app too. There's a bunch of women in the United States that are, wow. This must be a crazy app right here. There are a lot of women in the United States that are good women, or that are just chill women that won't try to simp you out. Know what I mean? But you have to come at them with a special way, man, because women know who they can simp out and who they can't simp out. That's just the facts, man. I don't know my facts, my opinion, my fault. That's my facts or my opinion. Women know who they can simp out. There'll be brothers, they'll see two different brothers, right? And they may both approach that woman the same way, but she'll look at one guy and say, you know what? I can make him a sucker. I can make him a simp. And she'll look at the other guy and say, nah, I'm going to give him whatever he wants. You just got to find what it takes to be that guy to give him whatever that she want to give whatever she wants. Tinder is off the chain out of America. Yes, hands down it is, man. Especially in South America, bro. Like, I haven't been to Asia yet. I hear Pattaya in Thailand is off the hook, but I know for a fact in Brazil, and I'm not even talking about just pay for play. Pay for play definitely is off the hook in overseas, but Brazil, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Cuba, yeah, everywhere, man, except for maybe London. London is not as easy in London. Yes. Have I done happening yet? Oh, Altec, what is happening? Hold on. I gotta read these terms in private use first. What does this mean? Okay. Let's see what this is. Let's see what. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold a minute. That site is a no, fellas. That site is gonna be a no. I'm gonna have to get back to you. I'm gonna have to get back to you guys on that site right there, man. God dang it, man. Hopefully, God dang it, that's gonna mess my video up. That's gonna mess my video up, man. God dang it, boy. See, that's why I can't do stuff live all the time, man. I'm gonna have to check that site out next time, man. Oh man. I'm 20 minutes in. Maybe they'll get away with it. Who knows? All right, so let me get to these comments, man. This site, this has got demonetized. I'm gonna have to delete that. I don't know. Let's see. The key market, what's up, fam? Simping is a cause of a gender war. Okay, I can see. Not really. I think simping is a battle tactic. If it's a war, if you're gonna say it's a war between the genders, simping is a battle tactic that women get guys to do. I don't know, but I don't think it's the cause of a war. I think the cause of the war is just the fact that or yeah, I don't know. I can't really put that one in. Andre and Andrea for Love Crossing Border. What's going on, man? Everybody, make sure you guys subscribe to Andre and Andrea, man. They just got back from Mexico, I believe. I think they're back in Colombia now, and yo, they was in some dope places in Mexico, man. Definitely was doing some dope things in Mexico. I see what you guys was doing out there, man. Damn, I should open that page. Let's see. I'll wait the pandemic out before I disappoint myself with U.S. women. All right, so let's talk about U.S. women. All right, fellas, ladies, whoever's here. There's actually, now here's the thing. When I was in Miami, right? There's actually a pay-for-play site in Miami. Now, you know, I give you guys guides. I give you guys the Uber Beats. I give you guys all that stuff. There's actually a pay-for-play place underground, not in Miami, but there's a website. There's an underground website that you can find pay-for-play women all throughout America. However, the prices are so unrealistic for most of them that you probably would get turned off by it, because I get turned off by it. And you know, I got a little change. So, but at the same token, like, I don't know, One Eye Jack. I think you just gotta have more numbers, because it's not even about how you look anymore. It's not even about what kind of money you have anymore. It's simply how many times you go after. That's what's gonna change. What's gonna change your mind, I think. Will change your perspective, rather. Social media has made it. Sky Jedi, what up, man? Social media has made it tough for guys who can speak to girls in person. It has. The simps be the people with the least amount of person game, blowing these girls' head up, and they be average or fat. Okay, so now that we a little bit close to 30 minutes, and I'm definitely not getting demonetized because that picture slipped. But here's what I'm gonna say, man. Let's use this comment right here, and we'll talk about Instagram. What a sexy girl can go on Instagram, right, and post a picture and get 1,000 comments, right? That 1,000 comments and maybe 10,000 likes will then put her in her mind state where she can no longer feel like she deserves the average guy. However, I'm here to tell you guys, I've knocked down some women who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, man. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Now, is it because of my profile? Is it because of my YouTube? Who knows? Maybe. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the sexiest guy in the world. But really, though, the women that be having all these like subscribers or all these followers, dog, they be basic as hell, bro. Like in real life, they be basic as hell, bro. Don't let the image that they portray on Instagram make you think that they're bougie in person, because a lot of them not even that bougie in person. It'll blow their mind up on the gram, But when you see them in person, it's a whole different thing, bro. It's a whole different thing. Now, like I said, I don't know if it's just how I carry myself, but it's a whole different thing, man. On the gram, we be blowing them up, or they'll be chunky, they'll be like tucking their stomach in. But in person, bro, when you pull up on them, it's a whole different thing, bro. It's a whole different thing. They can act as bad as they want in the gram, man. New comments. Wow. I'm good, fam. How you? Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. So basically, here's another thing about pay for play. When you go internationally, right? And this is, I'm at 25 minutes, so I'm going to post the link in the room. I usually don't do this on this, but I feel as though I don't want to be the only one giving my opinion on this subject because there's so many of us that do or not have opinions on it. So I'm going to post the link in the room if anybody want to join, and we'll have a discussion also. But when it comes to pay for play overseas, to me, it makes more sense. The reason why it makes more sense is because most of us are not expats. Most of us travel to a place for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 1 week, or maybe even a month. And in that time, you want to explore. You want to see things that you can't see in the States. So if you go out every day, you do all that stuff, and you come back, you so happen to meet a woman, there's a chance that woman to give it to you that same night. There's a chance. But there's more of a chance that if you want a very attractive woman, she's not going to give it to you that same night. So if it's going to cost you, just follow me here. If it's going to cost you, and I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. If it's going to cost you $60 to be with a woman that you would never be able to be with, or you would rarely ever be able to be with in America, in another country, let's break that down. The average minimum wage is like $8 an hour. 8 times 8 is 64. So if you work 1 day, you'll be able to hook up with a woman that in the States you would never be able to hook up with, not only because maybe your looks, but because you make a minimum wage, or because you may not come across them, or because they might have a boyfriend already, or because they might be married already. So how would it not make sense to be part of pay for play? And I mean, like me, I balance it out. Yes, I have women who I talk to in a relationship, or in a friendship manner, because overseas, because that kind of feels good to me. But at the same token, there are some women that if you want in the States, if you want the same quality woman that you'll get in, I mean, looking, we're talking about just face and body. We're not talking about the quality and personality. We're just talking about face and how they treat you, and body, physical features and how they treat you. If you want that same thing in the States, you're gonna have to go on a date. That's gonna be about $1. You're gonna have to take her and buy nice things. You might have to buy some like flowers and stuff. That's gonna be like another $50 a time. You're gonna have to hang out with her friends. And yes, this is just the average man. So yeah, it makes more sense. Let me see. Where'd I end up? All right. I hope not, Altec. He said scouts at the bottom of the barrel dating. I'm gonna try happening though. Man. What's going on, Original Steve? Spit the facts. Oh man, that's crazy. Tinder is butt cheeks down under. I don't know, man. I don't know about Australia. I'm going to come to Australia, and here's the thing, Tony. I've met a lot of Australian women around the world, man, and they all been down for the cause. So I would just assume that in Australia, brothers has got it made, man. I would just presume. Keymaker says, do you put up with less from women here in the Matrix now that you have options along the world? Yes, Keymaker. That's a fact. I got burgers again. All right, get the tissue right there, man. Get the tissue right there. All right, so basically that's a fact. Get the tissue and go to your room. Come here. Hold on, y'all. Come here. Get the tissue and go in your room, man, because it's bedtime. What are you going for, bro? Pick it up. It's not funny. Here. One for now, one for later. Go in your room. Oh, wait, hold up. All right, go take your iPad, go in the room. Okay. All right, I'm back, y'all. Hey, go in your room, man. Go lay down. All right. So do I put up with less from women in the Matrix now? Yes. Here's why. Here's why. Once you know what your options are, and that you can, if you really want to, especially with the flights being so cheap, where you can really go somewhere and do something else, there's a less of a limit that you're going to put up with here. So a lot of the women that I meet that may not be into, and I'm not just talking about women that don't want to have sex on the first day. I'm talking about women that that may just like feel like they're too good for that. Okay, I'll find another one. I'll find another one. It's just the best way to do it, man. Euros. I'm talking about euros. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't mess with euros. What's your best threesome story? All right, we here, fellas. We kicking it. There's not that many comments. So I got to catch up too, so we kicking it. All right, so my best threesome story. All right, so how many people we got here? 57. I hope you guys hit the like button. All right, so my best threesome story, shucks, is a tie. It's gonna be a tie. I had a threesome. My first threesome was dope, but I just don't remember everything in detail. But I'm gonna say the last of the best threesomes I remember I had was in Barranquilla, Colombia. Okay, so I met these girls. Again, I'm going to try to say the story, but the issue I'm having is that you guys might see these girls, so I'm not going to tell the story. All right, but all I'm going to say is that the best threesome I had was in Barranquilla, and I'm going to say that these women, yo, you ever had a woman turn you on just so much that you just felt like you was at your strongest of all time? That's how it was, man. And like they was teaming up and like, oh man, I can't even say the story because you guys seen the women already. I'm gonna say that's all I can say that. It's just when I left the country, the experiences were so good. My expectations just went through the roof. Yep, one way better out there. Definitely. I mean, let's see. They put a front on the gram. Facts. That's a fact. In person, they be open. That's a big fact. Friendly or whatnot. They want attention because of what they see on social media. But if you the vibe you give off is the key. That's a fact, man. Here's the thing. Just like he said, if you go and make these women, if you meet these women in person and you make them feel like they the ish, well, they gonna treat you like they the ish and you ain't ish. Like there's a lot of women I'll send tons and tons of messages to. See, I'm sending them all these messages because I want to meet them in person. Once I meet them in person, then I'm like, you just some regular chick. And then it might pop off, you know what I mean? But you just gotta make sure you don't do too much. P4P overseas is great. Smash, and then you find out if you're compatible. Stick with it a while, so easy. Okay, here's one thing about P4P, man, overseas. I'm not the type of person who will pay for something overseas, like pay for a woman overseas, and then every time I go overseas, I'll get that same woman. For me, if I'm paying for something, it's going to be I'm with you. I'm hitting this for the only time. Like when I was in Colombia, when we was in Barranquilla, and we was in Cartagena last year, and I paid for old shorty with the three banger I was gonna have that didn't end up happening. She was dope as hell. I even exchanged her Instagram because most of the women that I sleep with, here's the weirdest thing. Most of the women that I sleep with, like even if I'm paying for play, I still get their Instagram so I can remember in my mind what they look like. And I still keep in touch with some of them. And it's like the one I knocked down in Cartagena, she ended up being real cool. Like when I was knocking it down. She stayed for a longer period of time. And it was dope. But at the same token, even with that, and even the fact that I have her Instagram, I wouldn't stick around for a while, man. once you give them, you got so many options, man. It's an abundance of women out here, man. It's hard to just stick with one. Most of these so-called 10s, 9s are all P for P or hardcore gold diggers, so I stick with the 7 and 8s. MG Toe, what's up, man? Listen, that's kind of right. That's kind of right, because here's the thing. The 10s and 9s, they may charge a little bit more, and you may be able to get them, and then it's fun, but they don't really, most of the 10s and 9s are not going to do some wild stuff, bro. I'm going to be honest with you guys. From my experiences, most of the 10s and 9s pros that are P for P, they didn't do no wild stuff. You know, it was a very attractive, you're very attractive, and it's fun, it's a great memory, but the ones that are high up are not going to be that great in the sack, man. But them 7s and 8s, boy, listen, man. Them 7 to 8s, if you've seen the Uber Beats video from Mexico, bro, you seen that 7. I give her an 8. You seen that 8 moving. You seen that 8 moving on camera. So, like, yeah, man, I don't go for like the 10s anymore, really. Like, not for PvP. And not unless I really just like, oh, she's bad as heck, and I just want that experience. Because most of them be lazy and stuff, and be wasting your money. It don't be, you know, they try to charge you a little bit more than what the going price is, and you know, it's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. Let me see. Pay for play is the oldest profession known to man. Fact, I see nothing wrong with it. It's actually legal in a lot of countries. Yes, and like I said, that is the oh my God, I'm gonna sound so chauvinistic right now, ladies. If you in the room or if you watch this, it's not a fact. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm saying this is my opinion, a little bit, just a little bit. I think the reason why United States, and I'm going to sound chauvinistic, I'll repeat myself again. I think the reason why the United States has so many strong feminists and so many strong dominant women who just don't want a man, not you don't have to be with a man, but they don't want men to lead the world. They want to lead the world themselves. Is because in the United States, women and men are equal. Okay, but they have the power because there's no. Basically, here's what I'm over there to say. I'm trying to say right. If pros become legal throughout the United States, you'll see the transfer in power tremendously. That's all I'm going to say right there on that note. If pros become legal throughout the United States, you'll see the tremendous change in power from the female perspective to the male perspective. Just watch. Facts just shitty. 30K child makes about top 1% in the world. That is so weird, bro. Yo, MJ told it. And when I found that out, I was like, this is so weird. Keep them babies out the streets. Wow. It's tradition for Xavier. Oh, yeah, pretty much right now. Right about now. He always comes in here when he sees me. Oh, it sucks. Oh, give me a second. I gotta see if this heat's on. He popped something out here. All right. He done put the heat on my thing, man. All right, let's see. Uncle Drew, what's up, man? Kuda Bang, Kuda Bang, what up, man? Talk to us about being a pimp and a father at the same time. I want to live that life too. Nah, man, I'm not even. Here's the thing, a lot of the women I'll be showing you guys, I don't be knocking them all down. There be some women I'm knocked down, but the baddest ones, the ones I usually keep to myself. Once in a while, you guys will get one, but trust me, the baddest ones I usually keep to myself because I know they're more private and they don't like being out and open. But there are some ones that I've shown you guys that it's been a fun time, and I keep in contact with them. Yeah, it's just a regular thing, man. I'm like an average guy, man. Let's see. Tell a story, bro. Black Man Travels, what's up, man? I would tell a story, but you guys know my rule. My rule is if I show you the women, I'm not going to tell you the story behind it. But there is a story behind it. And if you've been following me, even if you haven't been following me, and I just told you it was in Barranquilla and it was 2 women, you pretty much can go through my Barranquilla videos and figure out how the story ended. But I don't want to go too in detail because, like I said, when you go in detail about particular women, it kind of messes you up for other women that see you, and you got to know how to carry yourself, man. Oh, you just left Barranquilla too? Oh man, Barber World TV in Barranquilla right now. I think Ace Live is in Barranquilla also, and King James. Oh, King James is in Medellin right now. I will see if King James is on. See if he can give us some info on Medellin. But let me see. Black Man Travels. You lucky. No, MG Toe Investor. You no longer have to take the because we over 40 minutes. I meant to put this thing in the room. My fault, y'all. Let me see. I'll put this in the room. I don't know. Invite. See if anybody want to join because I'm not going over an hour on this one, but I'll put it in the room. There you go. What was I say? Now you no longer need the corona test to get in Colombia. And my homie King James, Stillmatic, and who else is over there? Passport Stamp are over in Medellin or going to be in Medellin tonight. And they all went over there without the COVID test. Yeah, exactly. Frizzo, what up, man? Let's go where you appreciate it. Definitely go where you appreciate it, man. Because here's the thing. What's going to cost you? What's going and nobody ever does the math. Because if you are a budget person or if you are a numbers person and you do the math, if it's going to cost me, follow me here. If it's going to cost me $60, it's going to cost me $60 to hit an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and I can have her maybe for the whole night for 100, right? If I can have her for the whole night and 100 over here, but if I take this girl to Applebee's, right? The food for each of us is going to cost 30. We're going to drink, so we might drink another 30. I had to pay for gas, and then at the end of the night, I might not hit, right? So now we're talking about that's one date. 2 days later, she might let you hit. Usually the second or third time you meet a woman, she's going to let you hit. So let's say she let you hit on the second time. Well, that's 60 times 2. That's 120. So you just spent 120 to hit this one girl when you could have spent 60 or less to hit a model. It's basic common sense, man. It's basic common sense. Now, yes, you might want to get to know him personally. You might want to do all that stuff. That's why you have both. But it's just basic common sense. Pay for play is going to be the way internationally, at least internationally. Yeah, definitely. That's the range, man. I gotta catch up. My fault. D-Rail, what's up, man? I haven't dated an American woman since '97. Wait a minute, bro. I've been internationally traveling since '98. Okay, I've been permanently living here. Okay, in Thailand since 2004. Before this, Serbia, Croatia, Germany. Wow, that's crazy, man. So you live in Thailand? Is it like a big difference between people who live there and people who come there? Do they like give you a better price because you live there? And like, I just started seeing some Thai women that were thick. I always got an impression that Thai women were real skinny, and that's not really my thing. It might be fun maybe once or twice, but after that, not. But I just started seeing some thick Thai women, and I actually was, with a Thai woman from Bangkok. Do you try to go after the non-mangoes with real jobs before you seek out mangoes? Yes, I do. When I go overseas, I always go on Tinder first. I try to link up with the regular, with the girlfriend ones. I might get 1 or 2 girlfriend ones. But here's the thing. The first day, unless it's Colombia, because Colombia, no, my fault. Unless it's Barranquilla, not Colombia. Unless it's Barranquilla. Oh, I got people here. Hold up. I just noticed it. Hold up. I just noticed everything here. What's going on, fellas?
You just telling your story. I'm like, tell it, brother.
I didn't know. Oh, you guys, hold on. How do I? There we go. All right, we got love crossing borders in the building. We got OW. Woo!
Salute to the panel, you heard me?
What's going on? Welcome to the panel.
Oh man, you speaking science today, man. You speaking science. All of it from when you were saying that you're better off your experience is better with the 8s and the 7s than it is with the 9s and the 10s. That's even like that in the States, because even the state sides, when I had the 10s, they don't go the extra mile. They ain't got that they think because they got the looks that they don't have to put in the work. And so they're the first ones I used to kick to the curb was a 10, like, nah, this ain't gonna work. And then they'd be offended, like, you kick me to the curb? Yeah, baby, you fine. I call them like you make a good hood ornament, or you make a good, accessory to the inside of my car. You make my car look good.
Yep.
But when it comes to, you don't make my bed look good.
It feels good when you're walking down the street with them. But
right.
But
when you walk,
yeah.
But when you get they don't make the bed look good like they make the car look good. That's it. So even in the States, I used to kind of like overlook the 10s, and because they left a bad. But them 7s and 8s, some of them 6s, they put in that work.
See, OW and the DR, right? Is it the same way, or are like the best ones like really the best ones?
Well, to be honest with you, in the DR, one of their 7s is like one of our 9s.
I was about to say that too. That's
with the visual aspect, so you could actually go in DR and pull a decent 6. And I mean, you bring up to the station, you'll be like you're fucking with an 8 or a 9. So I mean, you're pretty much good in that aspect. As far as messing with these women in the States, they approach you with this entitlement type of aura about themselves, especially the ones that are 9s and 10s. Like, you ought to be glad just to be in my presence. So what they do is they give you fucking starfish sex, is what I call it. You just lay there and just, arms out like a freaking scarecrow. Who wants to pay for that?
Thank you.
So overall, the experience is better. If we're going to do it on a scale as far as visual appearance of visual, what you see when you go to these countries, you can get you a decent 6 that'll screw your brains out, leave you dry, and should have the appearance of a 9 in the United States. So that's that bar right there, to whereas you're getting more bang for your buck. And I'll just leave it as this. Fellas, your time as a man is your most valuable asset. If you want to trade that off for a few dollars, fine. But my time will always be, your time will always be more valuable than any money. Use that. You can use that in a business setting or however you want to look at it. Just remember that before you go out here spending days, weeks, and months trying to track down a freaking 5 in the United States.
So I heard one of the brothers before. I was trying to find his message, but one of the brothers before said basically when he finds one that's good, he'll like go back to her and keep paying for playing for this woman. What OW, would you do the same thing?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've done that before, but typically in my situation, after that second or third time, brother, I'm not paying no more. It's pretty much you just coming to spend time with me. That's what I've experienced. If somebody likes being around you, and you giving them a good vibe when you're around them, and it's like your conversation, if you do have some of the language picked up, see, around that second or third time, they coming over and drinking, they're gonna bring their little smoke, and they're gonna go ahead and do their thing, and they're not gonna charge you nothing. I mean, I've experienced that with several ladies who it was initially, I like to call it a business transaction, but around that third time, we were just kicking it, Now, do I let them spend the night with me? Hell no. But it could happen.
That's another thing we'll talk about, but I want to answer this first because it says my colleague too. He said, "What up, bro? What's the best way to link with y'all in Colombia? I've been to Cali twice and booked Airbnb flight in Medellin in January, trying to link with some brothers that's been out there." Well, as far as me, I'm going to Cartagena. I'm going to Cartagena in February because I was supposed to be going to Barranquilla for Carnival, but this year Barranquilla doesn't have its Carnival. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to Cartagena for about 4 days, and then I'm going to go to Barranquilla for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I'm gonna leave Tuesday because even though they're not having an official carnival, I believe that they're going to have something.
Yeah, the festivities, the fun. They're still gonna what they're going to be doing. Fresh. They're going to have the carnival, but it's going to be televised. Like Cali is going to be doing that.
Oh.
So they're going to have the main event, but you can't go to the main event. So all the
Okay.
parties, the fun, all that is still going to be there. But as far as like actually going to the street parades or any type of parades, they'll
Right.
have it, but it's cut off to the public. They won't sell any tickets. And if you want to see it, you have to watch it on television.
So they're not gonna. So basically, it's not gonna be like this. Remember the parade that you went to?
Right.
Is that going to be a thing, or they just not? They just do not do the big parades.
They're going to do the big parade. I think the parade that we went to, the one that was in the neighborhood, they might still do that one because the neighborhood still has their rights. But
Right.
I'm not sure. But the big one, they're going to still do, but it's just you only can watch it on television. The big major parade, they'll have it on television.
See,
But what makes it so cool, Fresh, is that means that all the celebrations and the funs and the club and the partying, that atmosphere of music will still be there because people have done it for 60 years. You can't take that apart. Right. So that won't be taken away. That's like when I go to Super Bowl parties. I might not go to the Super Bowl in that city, but I'm going to all the Super Bowl parties.
Facts. And this year I wanted to do what you did, and but I wanted to go to like Soledad and see those carnival. I didn't really want to go to the big parade this year because I went there twice. I didn't have to go to the big parade no more. But I didn't think they would have like even the little parades either because of the pandemic situation.
Dude, the little parades, man, they go all out like the big parades. They go all the costumes, the dancing, the music, and it's about just to get through the whole parade. If you're at the front, it'll take you 30 minutes just to see every performer and every dancer just to go by. So that's how long the parade actually is. And that's just in the neighborhood where they're just putting up streets and putting up just barbecuing in the neighborhood, selling barbecue. And they having these big parades just go through all the neighborhoods. So they might still do that one.
Well, I'm going to be there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So hopefully they do. On Worship King, I don't know. Maybe OW can break that down. The last part you said the best city if you don't want to pay for play, just casual dating. I don't know what light tricking is, but
what country is he talking about? Because there is such thing as a semi-pro. I mean, that's a girl. She still sells it, but
she got a job. But yeah, she got a regular job during the week. And
the light tricking thing got me. I was like, what's light tricking?
Yeah,
I know,
like,
right?
Like flat foot tricking? What are you talking about?
that even threw me off even further. The flat foot tricking.
That carnival is canceled for next year. Yeah, I knew that part.
Yeah.
Thailand flight from East Coast, 24-hour, include layover. Cramped every. Okay, wow, thanks. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up about pay for play. A lot of people ask whenever I give them the information, like in a Black Man's Guide. Or I give them information in a review or something, they'll say, is that for an hour? That leads me to the question to believe that people are comfortable paying a woman to spend the night in their house. OW, I don't know if Love Comes from Border back in your day. Did you guys ever feel comfortable paying a woman to stay over for the whole night?
Hell no. You pay for what, the fun, the festivities. You got to go for two reasons. A, I don't trust you. B, I got the next chick coming.
Okay, I mean, that's number one.
I got the next chick coming. So you got the. You was fun 6 o'clock. I appreciate you. Thank you. But I got 8 o'clock coming through. Or 8 o'clock, you were fun, but I got 11:30 coming through. So you got to go.
OW.
I pose a question in the chat. Most of you guys, when you go to work and you punch your clock, or you paid to sleep or you paid to work, and that's the mentality I take when I go into that.
Good point. That's
why am I going to pay you to stay at my domicile, eat my food, enjoy my air condition for a period of 8 hours, and you're only going to be working for 2? Then after that, you're going to be asleep. No job I ever went on in all my 40 years on this earth did I go to work and my employer paid me to sleep. And basically, that's what you're doing when you bring these people over here to stay at your house all night. You're paying them to sleep. You're paying for them to sleep. You should be paid to sleep. I'm not paying nobody to sleep. I mean, if you were coming over there, it's pay to sleep. Now, if you came over there because you wanted to be there, like if it wasn't that type of situation, yeah, oh, cool, great, I get it. But you're coming over there, you're on a clock, nothing that I get in this United States that I bring over here is for free. So I feel as though it just doesn't exist in my world. I don't do that. The next reason is while you sleep, you're at the most vulnerable state
Yeah, I just don't
of
get
the
it.
day.
True. Thank
I
you.
don't get it. I don't see how people.
Completely vulnerable.
Oh man.
You know? And most of you guys, I'm not knocking y'all. Y'all smoke y'all little weed and you drink your little drink or whatever. And when you sleep, you're snoring like a fucking grizzly.
Yep.
You have no idea what's going on around you. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, she tiptoeing around that bitch saying what she could put in her fucking purse.
Man,
Too
listen.
risky, not worth it. When that door, when I go to sleep, you need to be on the other side of that door.
All right. Here's what I'm going to two things. First, I want to say this. I watched another YouTube creator. I think his name was, oh my God, Fitness something me, like a muscular dude. And he was talking about how he would sleep once and a girl stole his phone, stole his cell phone from him, right?
I know what you're talking about.
He had a camera. He had a camera in the room and he caught her selling his cell phone. And he did something with all his supporters where everybody kept calling her phone and he had naked pictures of her and all this stuff. And he got his phone back. But it feels like there's a lot of people who really feel comfortable. Even when somebody even Tony Smith said, you know, in Thailand he does it. It's no problem. Like, but you know, I don't know what that is though.
I always say this. Would you have a pro in the States stay in your crib overnight? Most individuals would say no, you would not have a pro in the States stay in your crib sleeping overnight after she's performed her duties.
Right.
Then why would you be foolish enough, because that's foolish, to allow your security or your guards or your common sense down in a country you don't know, in a language most of you don't know, in security situations, meaning you don't know police situations, you don't know if they for bribe or she's paid for the police in the neighborhood or that's her uncle or cousin, you don't know the security situation and you don't know her. Why do you guys continue to do that? I never understood that. You already had your fun, and now, like OW said, you got her sleeping on a double pasta pila mattress. She ain't never slept on a double mattress in her life. Now she all in your Airbnb on the double 18 to 22-inch mattresses. Sleeping good for free, eating good the next morning for free.
Yep, because you're gonna take it to eat.
Thank you. Or she gonna cook your food, and your dumb tail sitting up there thinking, "I got her in here cooking for me, bruh." She cooking for her. She cooking for you as the leftover. She cooking for you because she cooking for herself because you got the food in the house.
She ain't doing it for free. She getting paid to sleep.
Yeah, and eat.
Yeah, she making she got that passive income sex. She making
you wrong for that shit.
She got that passive income sex. She done already put in the work and now she getting passive income.
Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I got caught slipping one time. I didn't get robbed, and I don't know how it happened. I think, and one of them was, I think all three of them was 2 out of 3 was a pro. I say that 2 out of 3 of the women was pro, but I'm gonna show you guys in a second which one I'm talking about. Some of you guys already know because you already seen it. Keenan, what's going on, man? Pulling up late. I think for me though, it's a trust issue thing. I think I don't trust women enough, and I'm talking about women in general. Like even if
right.
Pro, it's going to make me feel a certain way. Like I'm hiding all my money, I'm hiding my phone and stuff. But even that is like,
when you go into the act of doing all that, you should know something is wrong. If you have to go to those extents, you already should know, okay, I don't feel safe. I don't feel secure. I'm going above and beyond to protect my goods. Why am I doing this?
Why am I doing it?
You have to ask yourself that one question. Like when you're in the midst of doing all that shit, you try to put up everything and dot your I's and cross your T's. You're like, why am I doing all this? You know, it's because I don't feel safe. So I shouldn't be doing it.
Easier to tell her to go home. It's easier to tell her to go home.
There's ways to do it, but you don't have to do it there. I mean, how much do these hotels room cost in these other countries? What, $20, $30? You know, leave all your stuff there. Go down the street, get a room with none of your shit in there, rent a room and have her over. I mean, if you just desperately need that girlfriend experience.
There you go. I know a couple guys that actually do that. They actually have their room where they keep their stuff, and they actually have their playroom where it may be in the same building on another floor, or it may be in another spot, like you said, down the street, but they have a playroom. But it's the fact that guys don't think with that type of common sense when they see these women. It's like once they see that beauty, and like we were saying, a 6 in Colombia or in Thailand or in DR can be a 10 or a 9 in the States. And once they see that beauty, that common sense is out the window. Forget what OW and Fresh is talking about. Love Cross. Andre is married, so I really ain't listening to him.
Right.
So I'm gonna let her stay. I'm gonna have this one stay overnight, because that is that scarcity mindset. Because they actually think they can't get nothing fine like that again tomorrow morning or later on the night, not realizing it's plenty of female in DR that looks like that. Her mama look better than her, but you'll never know that because you're so busy being stuck around her. Go ahead.
No, keep on.
Her aunties and her cousins look better than her. But once we get this one pretty one, we think, just like we do in the States, I'll never get another pretty one like that. She got to stay overnight. This gonna be my main. You a fool.
It's not completely their fault. I'm sorry.
Black Man Travel said something. He just joined the live stream too. But shout out to Black Man Travel. He just said something that maybe OW, while you go to it, you can go into more. But he said something that makes sense. He said, with the curfew in DR, it's hard because they can't leave. They're usually stuck there after 7 p.m. Is this like acceptable, or is this like a way out of saying, okay, it's okay for her to stay tonight? OW? Because
my opinion.
I know you can speak on it.
I was in DR. That was about 3 months ago. I just came back from Colombia though. That's where I just came back from.
Me too, bro. I was out there too.
Yeah, I was in Boca Chica I don't know. It was first I was in Boca Chica, then I was in SDQ. I went back to back. I think it was August and September. I can't remember. But anyway, to reflect on this young man's question right here. It's possible. I mean, you could get up early in the morning, and like I said, just like we stated before, you can have a separate room, from which all your valuables at. Okay, if that's the approach you want to take. Now,
I see it.
The curfew has been pushed back. When I was going, the curfew was at 5 o'clock. That was literally the fucking sun was still up when the curfew was out, and people were running down the street on mopeds at 4 o'clock. Everything shut down. All right. There are ways that you can get someone to come over there in a taxi and pick them up, because the taxis are still mobile. I don't know if you know this or not. So just like that taxi, yes, they're legal. They have special cars that those taxi drivers can use in Dominican Republic, and they can pick people up and drop them off at their doorstep. So with that being said, the same rules do apply. You can easily have that cab come pick her up and drop her off the same way. So you don't necessarily have to do it.
Wait, so they could pick the cabs could pick her up also? I think
absolutely. They're gonna be taxing a little bit, but yeah, they can go ahead and pick them up if you want that. But I agree totally with Andre, because that's what I do when I'm in the DR. We get this certain villa that his brother owns in Casalinda, and it's just me and my homeboy. And the third room, we lock everything up in the third room. Yeah, it's a lock on the door on the outside of the room. Then you got a lock on the closet door, and then in the closet you have a safe. So you put everything in there, and nobody goes in that room. So usually what we do, we have girls all night, and it's usually not an issue because we don't have no valuables out. We call it chicken proof in our villa before they even get there.
Okay.
And for the most part, most of the women that I kind of roll with in that fashion, I kind of know them already. Like these are not girls I'm just gonna be picking up randomly out there. I've known them for a while, and usually it's cool, man. We just have a good ass time, bro.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point in regards to knowing the people.
Yeah. Most definitely. Because I ain't gonna lie, I had a chica one time. We sat there, we was talking. I had it was just me and two girls, and we just talking. And I'm talking to my little broken Spanish, and she just pulls out my shades out of her purse. And I was like, damn, you stole my shades? And she was like, yeah, but you good, So
wow.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Now in Medellin, me and my homeboy did is we had an apartment in the Blocks, and then we had another apartment. This is what you were saying earlier, Andre. We had another apartment in Provenza. So that was our crash pad. We had nothing there but beer, liquor, and the only thing we had to watch was the Bluetooth little radio, a little Bluetooth speaker.
Right.
That's
right.
all they could have stole was some beers or some liquor at most. And we had nothing there. So yeah, that's how we did it. We kept all our valuables in a nice apartment and everything. So yeah, it's just a way about it. But I do understand what you're saying, man, because that's not with every female you just meet randomly. These are girls that we've been knowing for a while or whatnot.
Then after that, after I seen, and I was always feeling this way, but after I saw the video that with the Chica Wildin', I think a Czech had interviewed about it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
about to bring that up. Yep.
I'm questionable about renting a villa in the DR or even renting a villa anywhere because the power of what she says goes when you're in a villa versus when you're in like an Airbnb where there's other people next to it who can say they heard something or there's cameras everywhere. It's a little bit more risky,
Yeah, it's kind of who out there too, because I don't know if people really know the ins and outs of the workings of Sosua, but if you know certain people that control, the police and whatnot, usually if you could just show a card, they'll kind of be like, oh, okay, well, you can't mess with this dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about who you know as well. Because if she would have pulled that on us, we just would have showed a card and she'd have been like, oh shit, well, let me stop that. Because in some of these little small towns, man, it's it's some inner workings with the mafia and all that shit. So.
When I'm doing the backgrounds, I'm gonna play the one time, bro. And y'all know I'm superb with my thing. But here's the thing: when I go places and I do a lot. Again, I definitely got I got to pay for plays. I also got the regular ones, the girlfriend ones. When I go places. But I also do 1,000,001 activities. I'll be at a club. I'll be recording. I'll do a jungle adventure. I'll do this and this. So like. I get tired. I'll be tired. I had these 3 women the last night I was in Barranquilla, Colombia. And we got to the house. And it was kicking it. I was with Dre Hart. I was with King James. And I was with these 3 women. By the time we all, I guess Dre caught the cab back to his place. And by the time King James went in his room, and all 3 women came in my room, I'm like, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I was so tired. They were talking, and I fell asleep while they were talking.
No.
I had my phone in my hand. If you look on the dresser right here, I got my son's iPad or a tablet. I had money in my jean pockets. I didn't have my jeans on at the time, my boxes. But I had my money in my jean pockets. I put nothing away because we were all just laying on the bed talking. And this is how I woke up. And this is the only time I could have got caught slipping, and I didn't. So I'm going to play that in the background. If you see it's 1, it's 2, it's 3 women. They got me for everything. Because King James was in another room with the door closed. It could have got me for everything. But sometimes you get lucky, man. But I wouldn't suggest that's something that you should do on a regular, man, because it's dangerous, man. And especially right now, I don't know whose show I was watching. And it was about, I think it was Roller Tape. Roller Tape. And Roller Tape was talking about how a guy got drugged. And
the Australian dude.
And right now, you gotta understand, even if you got away with the stuff before with the pay for play and letting them stay over, because it's usually one price from hitting it one time. There's another price for hitting it twice, and then there's a price for overnight. Even if you feel comfortable with them enough to make them stay over the night, just think about the fact that we're in a pandemic. There's not a lot of jobs, and people are real hungry. So you gotta understand that they're more willing to do stuff that they wouldn't naturally do.
Yeah,
but the point is, I know we're talking about the pandemic moment. Dudes were being childish, and I don't want to say childish, but not being wise and irresponsible. Thank you, brother. Regarding their actions prior to pandemic. We're talking about last year, the year before, dudes was getting caught up and getting got. Long before there was a pandemic and Trump come along. And that's what my mind. And guess what? Long after the pandemic is gone, if guys don't listen to what you guys have to say, they'll still keep getting got. Like I always say, this is my number one motto that I tell guys when they come into Colombia. Do not leave your common sense at the airport. That's all I ever say. Do not leave your common sense in customs. Let them take everything else in customs, but do not let your common sense be taken in customs, because I notice time and time again, dudes will do things here that they would not never let themselves fall into while they're back home in the States.
That's 100. You're
Common
absolutely
sense
right.
ain't common for everybody.
True.
Mhm. I think when I did that, I did the same thing. When I was in Brazil the first time, I fell asleep with 2 women in the room. I kind of pretty much blacked out. I was excited. My first time pretty much overseas. I'm in Brazil.
Right.
And I was just lucky that the girls knew my partner. So, nothing was taken. I just got lucky because of a network, basically. And
for every time I hear a story about brothers getting lucky like y'all, I hear 10 more horror stories where people getting the fuck out.
All day, bro.
Every time. And it's good to hear, you like to hear that, that good story every now and then. But man, they got, there's a group that I'm in on YouTube, and on Facebook. Okay. And it's specifically there for guys who get drugged with scopamine. And
I'm part of that group now.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I actually got involved in that group last year when I had a friend that lived in lives in Medellin since 2007.
Right.
And he said, Dre, I never get caught slipping. Never. He said, man, I let my guard down one time, woke up 2 days later. She got me for everything.
Yes, sir.
Got me for and so he told me about this group that you're talking about. And you have to tell why you want to get in the group. You can't just say, well, I'm gonna sign up, because it's such a sensitive topic for these men to have this group. You have to explain why you're getting in. So I know exactly what you're talking about, OW.
Yeah, I've been in that group for around, 8 months now.
Me too.
Yeah. I've been in it for quite some time. And I know why they do that, because there are people out here who listen to those guys' story, and they'll, try to attack them, ad hominem attacks and stuff. And until the shit actually happens to them or somebody they know, then it becomes real. Then they have compassion. So I completely understand the screening process.
Another thing I was thinking about pay for play is this. Now we all know is a set. Well, a lot of people don't, but we know there's a set price for most of the people, right? What are you willing? What are you willing to like? What should a person willing to go over that set price, that or average price or median price, if he really wants the woman? Like, is there like a maximum that you should do before you consider simping? Like, because a lot of people, they'll go to and a woman like when I'm in Cartagena, right? A woman that won't tell me, but I was in Cartagena last time, and it was a woman. I walked up to her, I said, hey, I said this in Spanish. I said, hey, my friend wants to hang out with you, because he was real shy, and he was like, it wasn't really my friend, it was like a social light skin friend. I'm like, he wants to hang out with you. He's real shy, and she told me 100. Now I know for a fact that 100. Well, she didn't say 100. She said 300 pesos, and I know for a fact that 300 pesos is out the question for a pro, even in Cartagena. So I said, okay, negotiate. I go to the guy. The guy say, yo, she's saying 300, but you could probably get it for I probably said she's saying $100, but you could probably get it for like 70 if you really negotiate with her. He was like, no, I have no problem paying $100. Now, that is what I'm saying.
Wait.
Excuse me. A lot of guys, they, I understand that sometimes if you want a woman and you get there early, you might want to pay a little bit more so you can get her, because she might feel as though she can wait a little bit longer and get more. But what's that limit?
First of all, the question is that for an hour or toda la noche?
For an hour.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Really?
Thank you.
Now you gotta remember though, we are in Cartagena.
I've been to Cartagena.
No. And that's the point, OW and Fresh. You are in Cartagena. There is no need for scarcity prices. This chick This chick says 100. I'm walking right behind her because I know it's 10 other that's standing right behind her that's just as fine and probably can perform like we talked about earlier, Fresh. The finer she is, the less her performance might be.
Right.
That might be able to perform better than her. We are not in the States. Why do dudes keep coming from the States with that scarcity mindset? This is Colombia. There are beautiful women everywhere. You can tell a beautiful woman, hell no, and there's gonna be 15 behind her that look better than her.
Well, to be honest though, 300,000 Colombian pesos is only $82. But
now it is.
Yeah, preach.
Back then it wasn't.
I think back then for me, I think back then it was because at that time we was like, it was like 4.2 back then.
Okay.
So, but even that, to me, that's too much.
Way too much.
To me, that's too much from what I've seen. But would you be willing to pay? What I'm basically asking is, would you guys, back in the day, would you guys be willing to pay a premium for something, or should a guy be willing to pay a premium for something that he wants now?
Nope. Because you paying, like you always knew what I used to say last year, Fresh. You know me. You only paying for pretty at the point of meeting them. That's all you're paying for. You're paying for pretty. When you first meet them, all you are paying for and saying yes to is you're a pretty man. That's it.
Well,
there has been no performance yet. There has been. You don't know if she can juggle, do tricks. You don't know if she's a starfish, like the brother just saying. You don't know nothing. All you paying is $100 for pretty. No. Now, if you know somebody, if you know somebody that got performance, maybe you can sit back and say, "Man, I've been with her before. I got to have her again." You might do something like that. But initially, heck no. Especially when you live in a country that there is no scarcity of beauty. You live in a country where beauty falling off the trees, where beauty don't even know that it's beauty. You got fine chicks in Colombia, man, that's pushing that are janitors.
Yes.
You got fine chicks that are working at McDonald's. You got a fine chick she be sitting in the Lamborghini in the States, but right now in Colombia, she's working the checkout at Exeter at the grocery store. There is no fine
traffic.
Why are you dudes kicking out scarcity money as if they are not breeding massive amounts of fine chicks? Afro-Colombian, traditional Colombian, indigenous Colombians. You got Asian Colombians here. Why are you sitting up there paying that money as if you can't find another one in the next 15 seconds? Because that's what you used to in the States.
You absolutely right, Andre. You on point. It was driving me crazy in Exeter. I couldn't understand. I'm in the bread aisle. I'm like, these girls are working. They look like Beyonce's. Beautiful diamonds. Thick.
Yeah.
Working like mediocre jobs at the cash register, check-in table, spraying your hands with the hand sanitizer.
It's so fine, don't even realize it because their mama look like that, their cousin look like that, their sister look like that, their auntie look like that, the girl that they went to school look like that. All of them have that little small waist and the big hip. So they're used to seeing that beauty. So they don't know that they're a dime in the States. They don't know that they're a this or that. You'll find a few of them here in Colombia that thinks that they're it, but most of them, and those are the ones that after the dude paid for the surgery. But for the most part, these women here, they are very humble, down to earth. Even the pros are some of the funnest people that you even want to meet. But at the end of the day, when these dudes be paying scarcity prices, I'd be like, y'all some idiots. Do you know why you're negotiating the price of $100? There are 15 that walk past that look just as good as her would have did it for 50.
Yeah. The two things I want to say right quick, before we go further. First of all, you're absolutely correct. But in defense of my American brothers, they've fallen subject to programming. A programming not of 5 years, not of 10 years, but they've been programmed by 30 years. 30 years. Now, as you know, if you get into like data processing and stuff, it's hard to go in and change that programming at the flick of a finger like that, And they're just getting there for the first time. They're gonna need a little time to correct that bad programming they've been getting here in the States. They've been chasing after 200-pound women for most of their lives, so they think that's normal. They've been taught they have to be the number one stunner and lead with their wallet for most of their lives. They have to break that programming. It's so much programming they got to go through to get their mind clicking in a different environment. So it's hard for them initially. So that's the reason why you see them over there in certain places. I ain't gonna say, but you're probably well aware of, throwing money up in the air and shit, you know, because they have to do that here. So they carry that mentality over there, you know. And the next thing about the $100, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm just gonna pass the mic on over. The average Colombian, what's the average payout there? $250 a month, $300 a month.
Yeah, you're right.
$250 a month, give or take. Right. You're gonna pay someone $100 for an hour. Let that set for a moment.
Yo, bro, you hit that right on the nose. When I was actually taxi cab job, he said he worked like 60 hours a week, and he make like $250 a month.
Yep, and most Colombians only get paid once a month. That's why you see the bank so packed at the beginning of the month, because most Colombians, some jobs have paid every 2 weeks, but most jobs in Colombia only pay at the beginning of the month. I'm
gonna rearrange this question a little bit because I see what he's saying. But this is definitely no. But here's what I'm gonna say. He asked. I'm gonna read what he says first, and I'm gonna rearrange the question. He asked, "What do you think about guys buying gifts for mangoes they met off the street a few hours ago? Simping or ain't tricking, or if you got it?" Secondly, I'm going to reword it and say, what do you guys think about guys who met women in the country that were pros, went back home, and then send women things? Is that
Western Union
in any manner? Is that okay, or is that acceptable in any manner?
Who wants to answer that question?
I would like to go.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I mean, I don't do it, but yeah, go ahead. I
like to go back to the OW's analogy of when we're at work. Have I ever had a boss after I got done working send me a gift? No. Have I ever had a boss pay for my breakfast after I done work? No. Did my boss pay for lunch break every once in a while for a bonus, you know, because I did extra work? I did extra work. My boss gave me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Because I did extra work, he gave me the gift certificate, but not for my regular work. Not for my regular work. My boss didn't give me all this extra stuff.
Preach, brother.
So
preach.
Just like OW. Yeah. If my boss in the States don't give me all this extra for doing a job that I'm paid to do, why is it that you sit up there sending money or giving gifts to somebody that's doing a job that you already paid them to do it?
Here's one.
Did the congregation hear that? I just want to make sure the congregation heard the preacher just said. All right.
Here's one thing somebody asked, and normally people would try to go over the question. They would try to skip it because it's something off brand. But I'm going to go for it. All right. He said, "Not here to pass judgment." That's not the one I'm looking for. He said, "Do you guys not feel bad about taking advantage of these people?" Okay. Here's the thing about taking advantage of somebody. You only take advantage of somebody when you don't give them what they want. In my mind, you take advantage of somebody when you're tricking somebody or fooling somebody into believing that you're going to give them something they want and you give them less than something they require. So now if I'm negotiating a price, that's not tricking. I mean, that's not tricking someone. That's not taking advantage of someone. That's saying, hey, I know that I know supply and demand. I can go, just like they said, I know I can go to any of these other 7s or 8s that's right walking up and down past me, and they'll take 200. But listen, I'm going to give you 210 even though you're asking for the 300. No, that's not taking advantage. And I feel as though when you do that, you give them more money than they're going to make.
Oh yeah.
In what's the name?
Oh so, yeah.
In other words, you're both happy. So it's actually more beneficial than taking advantage.
Can I answer that question? I just want to answer that question.
Okay.
A brief rebuttal to that. To the brother that asked that question, I challenge him to ask that woman who received that money from said person, whether it be me or whomever, and took that money home and filled her refrigerator up and fed her child and her grandparents and her grandmother that money. Does she feel as though she was taken advantage of?
Good one.
Yeah, there's no robbery in fair exchange. Plus, taking advantage of a woman is lying to her, telling her, hey, I want to be with you. You know, I want to marry you just to have sex with her. That's taking advantage of something.
Right. Right. Which dudes do in the States a lot. You want to talk about taking advantage? Y'all need to be looking in the mirror in the States because dudes do that game a lot. Will promise something and then don't deliver. Who's taking advantage of what? Are you taking advantage of women in the States, or is it a fair exchange more in another country? Because as you guys said, I love what OW said in regards to these dudes don't realize that these ladies aren't taking this money home and buying Prada shoes. They ain't taking this money back home and buying some Gucci purses or buying some some Chanel perfume. They're trying to take care of grandma. They're trying to take care of their kids. They're trying to go to the grocery store. They're buying instead of the bag cereal, they want to buy the box cereal this go round. And you help them buy the box cereal. So at the end of the day, they appreciate that. So OW is absolutely correct. You guys are hitting nails on the head.
Things are like a lot of things we do for these women in the United States, whether you want to admit it or not, it goes unappreciated because they feel as though you're supposed to do this type of shit. Them spending time with you is basically they're doing you a favor, so to speak. So a lot of the time when these women are out here and they're, at these little clubs or whatever, and they're peddling their trade, a lot of that shit goes to designer shit. They're in these fucking retail stores, blowing it up, living it up. I actually saw on YouTube once there was a stripper. You can go on. I don't know if it's still on here or not, but one of you guys may have seen this in the past. She was actually an exotic dancer, and she was on there flaunting her Medicaid card. She was on there flaunting her SNAP benefit card. She was on there flaunting her fucking Section 8. And she said that this is all the money that Tricks done gave me from the club and daddy government paying all my bills. So this is just think about that for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like really, who needs the help? Who's really fucking the system?
MG told investor even as he said the money we take over there is huge for them. Ain't no Colombian guys doing it. What we doing is genuinely appreciated.
No, that's absolutely correct. They don't have the money to do it like that, even if they wanted to. They don't have that type of money. I mean, think about the dudes are only making $250 a month, just like the women only making $250 to $450 a month. I'm still amazed at how they're still driving around with nice cars. I'm still amazed at how they're able to make it to the mall and purchase stuff to keep malls open. I'm still amazed at how they're able to pay hospital bills on $250 a month, not including utilities and everything else. $250 a month. So what you gentlemen do on behalf of and what will guys do, and let's look at it for what it is. Let's be for real. There are more black women with passports than black men statistically.
That is a fact.
Yes,
they
sir.
travel,
Yes,
they
sir.
travel getting their trick on a lot more than men do. And older white women get they travel with their fun game, with their fun dudes in as well too. So let's not forget about how the men are being able to go home and feed their family because this old white woman came to town and gave him a little bit of money for a little bit of fun. And a lot of these sisters ain't telling how Stella's still getting her groove back since. And think about how long ago that movie came out and all the sisters got their passports to get their groove back. So
it ain't out open. It ain't out and open like that. That's the only thing.
Thank you. But they doing the exact same thing. They doing the exact same thing. There's a few guys that I've already met down here, and that's all they do. They got women from the States that come down here. They got sugar mamas that send money through Western Union like crazy. And when the woman come down here, she get her back broke in, and she go back home with a smile on her face. And he feel like he can feed his family. He goes back to his family. He feel like he feed his family, his wife, his kids, and everybody else. Even though he had to break this woman from the States back in. Yeah, and I see the face that Fresh just made, like when I said that.
The Sankey Panky.
I know, right? Yeah.
Here's the thing about this. He says, where do you go in Colombia for non-pros? The hardest place, I think you can go anywhere in Colombia for non-pros. I would just say the hardest two places to go for non-pros would be Cartagena,
true,
and Medellin.
Preach.
Everywhere else, non-pros is everywhere. There's not really that many pros. Like you could find pros if you look for it, but it's not like out in your face like that. So you can go to Cali, you can go to
Bogota,
Barranquilla, you can go to any of the other side places.
Yeah,
Santa Marta.
Yeah. Santa Marta.
Oh yeah, definitly. And
I shouldn't have said that.
Because you see dudes flooding into Santa Marta like I'm saying I'm flooding to Cali now. But you know what? They flooding into Cali and they meet some regular fun girls. They ain't paying for pros. It's kind of funny. Dudes are coming to Cali now and they're meeting fun party girls, but they realize, man, I ain't got to come out of pocket for the proism, I could just pay out of pocket for like, let me go get a bottle of rum, and she coming over, we having our fun. So that's what they're noticing about the difference between coming to Cali or Medellin, because Cali doesn't have a Parque Aries. It doesn't have a clock tower where you can go to. So most of the time, people come to Cali and they meet usually regular girls. You do have pros here. You can't go on Tinder and meet pros, but for the most part, dudes just realize like, man, I can meet some regular girls that want to just get it in too. So that's what they come to Cali for.
Yeah, I just watched the video where Check and Effect was in Cali, and now I think right now I don't know if he left yet, but I think he left. Actually, he did left. DJ Chisel was in Cali.
Yeah, I was with Chisel today. We all went to the dentist.
You guys went?
Yeah, all of us. Oh man, you see what you see Chisel.
He's still over there. He came back.
He's still here. I just left him a couple hours ago.
Okay, yeah. He was like,
Chad is here. We were hanging out with Izzy, the YouTuber, and our other partner. He here, and so we all been hanging out all day. We went to Cristo Rey, the giant statue of Christ. We went. I took him to Willie's restaurant, the Afro-Colombian restaurant, to get something to eat.
Nice.
We were downtown. Took him to the some of the the landmarks of Cali. So we're supposed to be going to Club Living. They're supposed to be have revamped Club Living. It's open now. It opened up this week.
That's what's up. Hey, can I go back real quick to what Andre said earlier a few minutes ago? I was just telling my homeboy, man, about, because you mentioned something about passports and brothers not having passports and black women having more passports, right?
Yes, sir.
And I remember dating girls. Matter of fact, they were my girlfriends, 2 of them. I had no indication that they were doing anything in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? I had no clue back in the early 2000s why they was going back to Jamaica back and forth. Hey, we just go on a girls trip. I thought nothing of it. I didn't think about a passport. I didn't think about going out there with them. But as I got older and started realizing that, okay, they going out there getting drugged through the mud by them Jamaican guys with 6-packs, in a full relationship with me. And I had no clue. That just shows you how discreet women can be.
Yes, I heard about them. I have a female friend and her friend who was going to Jamaica getting drugged out, and I knew they was getting dug out by these Jamaican guys because they be open to me, but they both had men. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Oh, dude,
had no idea, brother. I had no idea, man. No idea.
Don't feel bad. We all been there, brother. We all been there.
I mean, because you know what? It was like, to me, I was like, okay, you're going out of town again. Okay, cool. I got some time to do what I want to do. While you out of town. That's how I was looking at it. And it'll be me and my homeboy, girlfriends, both going over there. We had no idea what they were doing. We'd just be, like, okay, y'all go. Because that was the norm back in the early 2000s. Oh, you going to Jamaica with your homegirls for a little trip?
Right.
Okay.
Keenan, I'm going to say this, Keenan, because Keenan said Cuba seems like to be a fairer situation for the bros. I'm guessing when he's talking about when it comes to pay for play. The selection is not as good as Colombia. It's definitely not as good as Brazil, but the price is lower than Brazil, and it's more of a it's more of a I don't know. I guess the women are more like humbler. I guess if that's a word, they're more humble in Cuba. Like they I don't know. They happy. You know what I mean? They're happy to eat cookies, so they'll take an exchange for sex. So I guess I can understand you saying that there too. I guess.
Cuba's tough with the currency exchange and things of that nature. You can't use your credit card there. There's like 3 different types of freaking currencies. I've been told it's better to exchange American dollars for euros before you get there. It's just a lot that goes into that. And if I don't understand a currency, that's my money you're effing with. I kind of just shy away from that, because just think about it. You got 3 different currencies. You pay in one, they give you change in another. What the hell's going on? I mean, it just confuses me. Then I have to have euros before I get there. And just say for some strange reason, something happens and you got your credit card, you can't use that there. So for me, it's like, not Cuba. I'm not ready for that yet. There's a lot of other destinations I could go to get what I need.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to it. He says, "Thanks for responding, guys. I'm still not convinced it's moral. What do you think? Okay, white dudes coming to the hood. Here's the thing.
That's apples and oranges.
I see what he's trying to say.
Exactly.
That's apples and oranges.
Here's the thing. Life is going to be life, man. If those who have money are going to share it with people who are going to use that to their advantage, it's not taking advantage of people because you're using something to your advantage. That's the difference in what I believe you're saying. Because moral breaks down what's right and what's wrong. That's all. What's the word? Not perspective. It depends on who what you perceive something to be moral or not.
Right.
But
person to person basis.
Right. But what you're trying to say is that white guys come into the hood, and because in the hood, women are going to be looking for money, and the white guys can take them, is the same as us going overseas. And let's break it down to the white guys coming to the hood thing. There's nothing wrong with a white guy coming to the hood, getting at a hood chick. If that's what he likes, that's what he likes. If she likes him because he has money, then that's good for him. He got money. It doesn't mean he's taking advantage of her because she doesn't have money. It just means he knows where to go to spend his dollar more efficiently. It's the same thing as when you go to where you're going to live. You can go live in New York City if you want, but if you can afford to live in New York City, but you decide to live in New Jersey, doesn't mean you're taking advantage of New Jersey. It doesn't. It just means that you're getting more bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Same. If you could buy a watermelon in the supermarket for $8 and you got $8, but you go to the dollar store and you buy 8 watermelons for $1, are you taking advantage? No. So I hope that helped you more.
I mean, would he consider himself staying in the States, meeting a nice, beautiful woman, taking her out to dinner 3 or 4 times? She's steady telling you no with a peck on your cheek and kicking you, and then when her bills due at the beginning of the month, is she using you, brother? Is she taking advantage of you? You felt good with the fact that she said yes when you said, "Can I take you out to dinner?" She said yes. Is she taking advantage of you? When she said, I got bills need to pay, and you pulled out your wallet, is she taking advantage of you? You freely pulled it out. She ain't stealing from you. See what I'm saying? Would you rather still stay in the States and go up under the moral, pretend, pseudo matrix mindset that they programmed us into, to how you would spend your money and told you how you would spend your money, and actually convinced you to say the way that you spend your money and date in the States, that's the moral way of doing it. They convinced you to be moral in the States where you don't get nothing out of it. She can walk out of that date with a full stomach, farting while she in the car and sitting back, ain't had to give you nothing. But in the United States, told you that's the moral way to do it. That's the right. Told you to go buy some flowers and candy before you even get your tail to the date. Told you to get dressed up. You can't wear a polo shirt like you do in Colombia or Brazil. No, you got to wear a suit for a date in the States. Told you got to do all this in the States just to get nothing that night but yourself in your hand. But that's moral because the United States programmed you to think like that. And you got the audacity to question when somebody says, "Here, I'm going to give you the power." No, that's not moral. I don't want the power. What?
Damn, bro. You killing him.
Hey,
he dead. He dead already.
And in 2020, you don't even get a peck on the cheek. You get like a half a hug, like a church hug.
Oh, not the church hug, shoulder to shoulder.
Like a little shoulder hug. Thanks. I had a great time. Talk to you later. Damn.
You going off of a date, you got blue balls, but since the United States told you that's the way that it's done, it's moral.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, I don't know if y'all. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'll make this real quick. I don't know if y'all remember this restaurant called Houston's they used to have back in the days. I don't know if they closed down or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's called Houston. This is a true story. The girl went out on a date with the guy, right? She had a little doggy bowl, like they call them carry out bowl. It used to be all black. Right. She took the all black bowl from the date with him, came back home, called me over to the apartment, gave me the food that the man bought. I ate and beat her back in. True story.
Brother.
True story.
I got so many of them stories. I've had females call me after the date, tell me about the date, on her way to my house after the date to get her back broke in as the dessert. Several times over, dude. I've had that happen. They'll call me on their way to the date. I say, don't you got a date? Yeah, I'm on my way. Okay, I'm gonna call you after. Okay, cool. We talking about how'd your date go? Well, he was this, that, and this, on her way to my spot to get her back broke in. I ain't got to cook. You done made her full. She done got all her farting out in the car. She feeling good about herself. Now she ready to have some sex because she got energy. Because everything that you gave her on the date, I get the advantage of. But yet at the same time, you got the audacity to say that's the moral way of doing it in the United States.
I think he's an SJW warrior type motherfucker. Yeah, he's got to be.
Just, I never really try to tell somebody that they're wrong. I never say that a person is wrong. I always say, okay, you have this perspective, but let me try to give you my perspective. And even if you don't start believing my perspective, at least you know that there is another perspective, which is good. Is why I have you three brothers here to help me articulate exactly what we're talking about when it comes to pay for play and when it comes to understanding how to maximize what we are given around the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and unless you are going around the world like you gentlemen are, and myself, and seeing and experiencing. For example, I was telling somebody that there are countries in Eastern Europe, in the Ukraine area, in the Croatia area. These countries actually believe in their heart. The women say we have sex with the men first because we don't want to waste our time getting to like him, and the sex is terrible. So in this country, they really believe that sex comes first. If the sex was good, now let's go on a date. Now let's hang out. Now in their countries, you don't do the date first. You do the sex first. And if they believe that you cool enough, now I want to date you, because they're like, I'm not going to get cool with you, fall in love with you, and then your sex is garbage, and now I don't know what to do with you.
Andre, please tell me where this place is at. Just just tell me.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything else, man, just please tell me where it's at.
Yeah, there's a couple of countries like that. I actually watched a documentary on it like 3 or 4 months ago, man. It's in Eastern Europe, and they actually believe that the sex comes first and then the dating comes second, because they don't want to fall into a relationship or get cool with a dude that and these are beautiful women, like the Ukrainian women that are like the model type, just those countries that breed them like that. And they actually believe that the sex comes first, because if they start liking you and your sex is garbage, they feel like, dang, I gotta introduce him to my mama, I gotta introduce him to my friends, and his sex is garbage. And so they like, man, let me get the sex out the way. If it's good, okay, now I'm gonna find out if he's a good person.
And Travis, I can't leave it up there because the F word, but and Travis definitely got a point, because like I said, it's not even all American women, man. It's not really, like, it's not. But the issue is that a lot of guys, they'll do this. A lot of guys will go after 10 women, right? And then 2 of them or 4 of them will be bad, and they'll be like, you know what? The whole thing is down the line. But if you went after 100 women, then you would have at least, 20 of them that's good, and you wouldn't even care about the other 80. You know what I mean? That's what you just got to do. You got to go after more women, even in the United States, man. Even in the United States. I swipe 1,000 pictures on Tinder, bro. I swipe 1,000 pictures on Tinder, and I don't get that many like backs. But when you break down the fact that if I swipe 1,000, I might get 40, and out of the 40, I might meet 20. Out of the 20, I might get cool with 10, and out of those 10, I might hit 7. It only takes me about an hour to swipe 1,000. So it's, when it comes to American women, I'm answering Anthony. When it comes to American women, you can find them. You just gotta put more stuff out there than you do in other countries. Like if I swipe 10 in Colombia, 8 of them won't be cool. You know what I mean? So
that's a lot of time invested to find that needle in the haystack, and I'm getting old. I don't have that. That's the reason why, I mean, when I was 27, I had that conversation with him, but now I'm 39. No, I don't have that time like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I'm done with dating in the States.
Oh man, man, after my first trip, I was done. I was done. As soon as I came back, I told the only thing a female in the States could do for me is drop me off at the airport. That's
Damn,
all.
Dre.
Can you give me a ride to the airport? That's it. That is it. I meant that from the bottom of my heart. And it's like it's almost like the more I wouldn't give them attention, the more they would try to get a brother, and not realizing like I'm serious. I don't want none of y'all. I'm done. I'm through.
You know what?
I looked at the United States like it was a business relationship from that day on. My job in the United States was to make money and get the hell up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Drop me off at the airport. That's the first. That was nice.
I mean, that's very true, man. That's very true.
And you
Fellas,
know what?
if y'all don't mind, you go in a
Go
private chat and get my phone number out of there. That's my contact because I will be in Colombia in February as well. I don't know if you look back there yet, but just get that and just hit me up through the WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Before
like
that.
we don't. I'm gonna go 15 more minutes because I'm gonna do this exactly two hours. Even though that little one picture might get my whole stuff cut off, but maybe YouTube won't see it. But we're gonna go for 2 hours. That's gonna be it. But you're going to Barranquilla or you going to Cartagena or Medellin in February?
I'm gonna stop in Bogota, then I'm going to Medellin, then I'm going back to sex prison. United States.
Oh, this dude sex
I haven't really seen much footage on Bogota. I think the first time I really seen a lot of footage on Bogota was with Barbaro TV just last week. Other than that, I don't really see a lot of people.
I got some walkthroughs that we're dropping in Bogota. I met
got
Bogota and Chicago, same size, and it blew me away that Bogota is more modern than Chicago.
Yes,
way more modern. Dude, when you get to Bogota, you swear that you're either in one of the major cities of the West Coast of the United States, or like one of the major cities. They got a historic area. But as soon as you get off that plane, you looking like this cannot be Colombia. It's
right.
over they malls are way over the top, way over Medellin, way more modern than Medellin.
Yeah.
And you just drive. And the funny part, when you drive and you waiting for the modernness to come to an end, because you like, this can't be Colombia. And you steady riding. And it gets, even the apartment buildings brand new. The roads are smooth like you in the States. It's completely different. It is. If it wasn't, I told Andre, I said, if it wasn't for the cold here, oh man, this would be the spot. It would be. I mean, it is so super modern, super modern.
Like, no, I haven't been there yet, Wardell, but I definitely plan on going to Mexico City. We did the cold Quintana Roo.
Oh, we like Mexico City. That was fun.
So you said, what say, Jay?
That was fun. We just did Mexico City 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you guys went to Mexico City?
Yeah, we did that. We stopped off there for a couple of days. The first.
Did you post that? Because I didn't see that.
No, I didn't post anything yet.
Okay.
Because we just getting back the last couple of days. So I got all this footage. So now it's like, you know how it is. You got to break it all down and decide on what you want to do. So I did a lot of walkthroughs and we. What I want to say was thank Fresh, because a lot of suggestions that you made on the guide video for Playa and Cancun, a lot of those tips we were able to take advantage of, man. I just want to say thanks for that.
No problem. Now Mexico City, like, was it open?
Yeah, it was open. Like clubs, bars. Yeah.
I was under the influence, like because when I was in Cancun, they were saying Cancun, Quintana Roo is open, but they kept saying like Mexico City because it's more locked down. And I wasn't sure, but it's open. Like, you can go there.
Open. Like the first day we got there, man, we were at the club until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, the first night we were there, we went out clubbing.
Yeah, so because I really wanted to go to Mexico. I'm still planning on it, going to Mexico City for Day of the Dead. That was the reason why I want to go to Mexico City. I want that cultural experience, and it's fun over there. So that's my plan on Wardell. You live there? Do you live there as an expat, or are you like a Mexican living in Mexico City? And Tijuana, Mexico. Hey, OW, didn't you just go? Didn't you go to Tijuana or something?
No, it's too overpriced. I did some research on the numbers. I crunched the numbers and everything. Goods and services. It wasn't worth me flying there. It just wasn't.
Oh wow, good.
I mean, to other guys, it may be good because you live close there, but by the time I did the plane ticket, and I actually have people that are on the ground there giving me information about some of the prices that are being quoted. It didn't make sense. I'd do better going to DR, even Brazil, before I went there. So no.
You to Brazil. Hey,
Not going.
BT. Black man.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, have you been to Colombia yet?
Yeah, I was just there last week.
What do you think? What do you think about Colombia and Brazil? Because I get the same question from everybody when they say, "Hey, what do you prefer? Or what's the difference between Colombia and Brazil when it comes to women? When it comes to pay for play? Like, what is the difference in your mind? Because if anybody else has been to both, I'll ask you the same question.
It's really hard to compare. In Brazil, it's more like, you know, more Afro Brazilian. You see more of that. You see a lot of more natural Afro. I would say I didn't have sex until I got to Brazil, right? Because the sex is just crazy out there. They're very determined to get, you know, be satisfied with you. Colombia is beautiful, man. It's so hard to compare them, brother. It's reasonable as far as the finances behind it. I know you were saying Brazil is a little bit more expensive, but I know little spots. It's like we call them $15 spots you can go to in Brazil.
The classes?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Because I know what you're talking about. I'm about to say something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, $15 spots. So I love them both equally, man. I'm going back to Colombia like next week, but it's very hard for me to do that because I really, really want to go back to Brazil as well. So,
I mean, for me, it was unfair. I get it for me because when I went during Carnival, and for me, it was unfair. It was unfair in Brazil because of the fact that Carnival was always packed. But I don't speak Portuguese as well as I do Spanish, so my feeling of it wasn't as good as like when I'm in Colombia. However, I will say that when it comes to pay for play, the difference between Colombia, when I say Colombia, you got to break it apart though. I got to break Colombia apart because Brazil is probably the same because I've been to Sao Paulo and Rio, so I can kind of say it's similar. But Colombia is different because Medellin is different from Cartagena, Cali from Barranquilla.
Right.
Rio is Rio was pretty much, except for like it wasn't a part similar, same as there. So when I went to Rio, I felt like now one there was a lot of transvestites. Oh my god, I can't say that. It's the wrong word.
Just say Transformers.
Yeah, shut, that messed me up. My apologies, everybody. There was a lot of Transformers there. There wasn't as many Transformers as I seen in Colombia, except for Cartagena. Barranquilla wasn't.
They was out there in Medellin last week too.
Oh, he was?
Oh yeah. They was out there last month. A lot of them Optimus Primes out there, a few Megatrons.
You know what? It's so funny because me and Chisel just walked past a couple of them a couple hours ago in the mall.
In Cali?
Yeah, because in Cali you can get the surgery.
Oh,
so you can get the full thing to make it, but you still can't hide that jawline and the facial features that make you look like make you look like a Russell,
Glass Joe,
make you look like a man, like Glass Joe. And so we looking, and we both look at each other like, did I just see what I saw? And I'm like, yeah, man, we just saw two dudes, looking like, they look like Schoolhouse Rock 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, coming through the door. So at the end of the day, it's not spreading, but they're becoming more comfortable with expressing that side of their Kardashian-ness.
Yeah, and I also like Colombia because in comparison to Brazil, because it feels like no matter what city you're in Colombia, you can kind of like spread out a little bit more. But in Rio, when you're in Rio, you really can't spread out past a certain amount before it gets to you don't want to be in that area.
Wow, yeah.
Somebody just said something right here about Argentina. I missed it. Hold on a second. Here we go. He says, why do you think brothers are avoiding Argentina? The women are just as pretty and pale as Paisas and Medellin. I'll answer this, and then you guys that been to Medellin, you can answer this too. Right now, Argentina is bad. All the Argentinians are leaving Argentina and go to other countries like
it's
Mexico,
poor.
United States and stuff like that.
Yeah. The dollar in Argentina is worth nothing now. It's going through the same economic turn that almost not to the point, but almost when Venezuela started making its turn a few years back, like 5 or 6 years ago, when that Venezuelan dollar was worth, when it originally started being worth nothing, and then they went through the 13,000%. That's what Venezuela is going through right now. It is bad in Argentina.
And that's why you're having that huge influx of Venezuelans coming back across that border now. And to be honest with you, I have people that live in Medellin. I mean, they're accepting them, but they really don't want those people.
They don't. It's like that here in Cali.
It's a lack of resources already, and you have the influx of thousands of people coming there to compete for those small amount of resources. It causes tension, and that's what's going on there.
You absolutely right. We had a conversation with some girls about exactly what you were saying. They was like, yeah, the Venezuelans are cool, but it's already hard, and they come over here and kind of As far as the crime, they're saying that the Venezuelans might come over there and commit crimes and stuff like that. So,
and also just on the when I got my cellular, my ID, and then when I got my visa, it took so long to get my visa and my ID. It took me a week to get my ID. Wow. Just because they had so many Venezuelan passports to restamp, in other words, and get them back in for the next 90 days and anytime you're dealing with trying to get your paperwork here in Colombia, it's always backed up because there's so many Venezuelans that's backing up the system that they're trying to get them, and they're trying to get the regular people and the Colombians taken care of. So that's another headache within itself.
It's strange because I thought Venezuela had oil or something like that. I thought it was rich in
resources. But they can't get to it because it's very heavy, and their plants and stuff are all broken down. They need repairs. It costs money to get those refineries back up and running. And since that oil is so heavy, it's hard to get to. So that's the reason why they can't get to those natural minerals. What's the word? Natural oil supplies that they have.
And also Venezuela, the mistake that they made economically when they had their economic boom in the early 2000s. Remember, that's when we were paying $4, $5 for a gallon, a gallon per gallon for gas. Venezuelans were living fat on the hog. Well, instead of taking that seriously, but instead of taking that money and investing it and saying, okay, now we're going to produce this, now we're going to produce that. Venezuela did nothing with that money but shipped in, import everything, import clothes, import food, import everything for the people instead of creating another source of income. Well, when the oil market and the prices dropped down from $4, Venezuela just crashed. And so, and then they had nothing else to lean on because they didn't have textile. They didn't have, they didn't have agriculture like Colombia. Colombia has the number one thing in Colombia is oil, but the second thing in Colombia is the auto industry. Colombia makes over $690 billion a year just producing and shipping out cars around the world. Because
Hey, Dre, what about the coffee?
Oh, coffee is number 3. That's the crazy part. Coffee is number 3 to the oil in cars. The next one that's in line is flowers. 99% of all flowers that you see in Walmart and 1-800 Flowers come from Colombia. So the next,
you know that shit. No, I didn't know that either.
That's why they always have a flower festival in Medellin, because they celebrate the market.
I went to that last year. I was staying in Berlin.
They celebrate the history of flowers and the selling of flowers around the world. Yeah, when you go to Walgreens and Walmart and CVS, and whenever you see them flowers sitting up there for Valentine's Day and all that, or a wreath, to celebrate something, or a wreath because somebody passed on. 99% of the flowers that come to the United States are from Colombia. 99%. So Venezuela didn't do that. They didn't diversify themselves. They were making so much money on oil, and when the bubble burst, that's when they got the 13,000% inflation. And in accordance to the and anybody that knows what inflation is when you put too much money out there into the community that is not worth it much anymore. I've got Colombian money in the room, and how I got that, a dude at the beach walked up to me and he started making little animals with Colombian money, and I was like, oh, that's a good animal. Let me get that. Or he made a shirt tie and a suit out of a dollar bill, and I was like, let me get that. Or you see somebody standing on the corner and they're like, let me get 2,000 pesos for 10,000 worth of 2,000 pesos for $10,000 worth of Colombian money. Venezuelan money.
Yeah, you talking about Venezuelan money? Okay.
Yeah, Venezuelan money. Yeah,
okay.
Like they'll ask me for like, just can I get 2,000, 1,000 pesos, and I'll give you 10,000 of my Venezuelan money. And it's just you just get it just to say you collect them. The ink is worth more than the money.
Damn.
Yeah, not worth the paper it's printed.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. That term is literal for Venezuelan money. That term is literal. So when they come here, they would rather beg and live. We got Venezuelans that live in a park, not even underneath a bridge, not even 20-minute drive from here. They took over this one park. They created like cardboard tents, anything that they could get their hands on, old wood, just so they could create tents like teepees to sleep in. They would rather be poor in another country than to be poor in their own country. I mean, in Venezuela, man, they said I've heard in Venezuela that they were actually at one point in time they broke in the zoo and ate and stole some of the animals to eat.
Damn.
Roll a goddamn tape. What's going on, bro?
Hold on, man. So you was barbecuing gazelles and tiger meat and shit?
Dude, they would try. Dude, if your kids are starving because in Venezuela, the only way you can go to the grocery store is your day and your time, and it has to be based off of. For example, if I'm in Venezuela and my date is on a Wednesday at 2:00. If I miss my Wednesday, I can't go Thursday at 2:00. I gotta wait all the way until next Wednesday. But here's the kicker: if I wait until next Wednesday, that grocery store might be empty and shut down because they ran out of food. So therefore, I got on Wednesday for the rest of the week, I gotta hunt down a grocery store in my area that even has anything that I can afford. I can only afford a bag of rice and a loaf of bread. So I gotta find a grocery store that only has that at least has rice and bread. If they got meat in there and other items that I can't afford, I can't feed my family. And then I got 3 little kids that I'm telling to stay home, and the oldest person is the 2-year-old.
Damn, that's gully, man.
All right,
That's Venezuela.
Well, we've been here for 2 hours.
All right.
Everybody coming in, I appreciate all the people on the panel. I want everyone to give a last statement and shout out your channel where you can be found at, how people can get in contact with you, and the next destination you were going to. Let's start with Andre from Love Crossing Borders. Let's go to OW, and let's end it with Black Man Travels.
All right, you can find me on Love Crossing Borders TV. So we actually got 4 channels, but the 2 channels you're gonna find me on Love Crossing Borders and Love Crossing Borders TV. The next destination that we're going to for 4 months, I'm excited about it. We will be in DR this up and coming summer for 4 months. Yeah, so we're doing a DR thing. Yeah, 4 months. Andre and I are going to be there showing DR from the other perspective, the little islands around DR, some of the eateries that people don't talk about or showcase in DR, other couples that we know that are down there in DR doing some great things. So we're excited about going down to DR. That's our next spot for 4 months.
That's going to be crazy. And they can reach you at?
They can reach me at Love Crossing Borders. On Instagram, they could reach on Twitter, Love Crossing Borders, and on YouTube, Love Crossing Borders, and Love Crossing Borders TV is the new channel. We're taking all the old travel videos and moving them over to the Love Crossing Borders TV because we're going to change the name of the other one.
OW? O to the W?
Oh yeah, man. My channel is my name, OW504. You can look me up on YouTube. I also have an email address that's for the general public. It's ornell504@yahoo.com. I will be traveling back to Colombia. That's my happy place. Starting 2021. I'll be there for a couple of weeks or whatnot. I haven't really decided which city yet, but I'm up in between two. If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And if you haven't gotten your passport and you're listening to this vlog right now, you best to go get it. You're missing out.
Black Man Travels.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on the show. You can find me at Black Man Travels on YouTube. I also have a Facebook group, Black Man Travels. We get a lot of good information, brothers traveling all over the world. Right now, I believe we have like 2,800 members. So you can get a lot of information from other brothers that's traveling as well. My next destination will be back to Medellin, Colombia. I was there last week and I'm going back again.
All right.
I fell in love with it. Yeah, man, I fell in love with it. It's a beautiful country. Some really good people, man. I really enjoy Colombia. I'll probably go to Brazil sometime next month as well. Tickets is pretty reasonable from Medellin to Rio. So right now, man, just touring South America. I'm usually in the DR. A lot of guys get on me because they call me, I'm always in the DR. So Dominican Republic, I love Dominican Republic as well. I'll be out there. I feel like the DR is like damn near Miami for me. It's like a little weekend trip.
Yeah.
But appreciate you having me on the show, man. Like I say, check out the Facebook group as well, Black Man Travels.
Definitely on that one, man. And we appreciate everybody for coming, man. It's your boy FRE$H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why. Check out the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this one down.
All right. Peace, fellas.
All right, guys.
Y'all be easy, bro. Hey, y'all got